Hello and welcome to Walk and Talk, Theoretically Asked Questions. I am your host, Sori,
And I'm your co-host, Trina.
and we present to you Walk and
Walk and
Talk,
Talk, the
the podcast.
podcast.
You know what happened to me today? One thing I hate doing when you're seasoning meat,
Hmm.
when you season the meat and you use that Goya, that color Goya, that saffron and all that good stuff, and then
Hmm.
all your hands and your nails get yellow and you can't get that shit out of your nails. You know how I'm struggling right now, okay?
Hmm. All
So,
right.
so, so you're telling me that the focus of this topic today is why people fall um in love during the holidays, why they tend to look for relationships during the holidays.
Cuffing season.
Can I say, well, oh, okay, okay, I didn't think about that. Yes, you're right, but that's more like when I
Because,
hear,
but here's the thing though, when you're thinking about cuffing season, like you want to think about someone, I'm gonna get some gifts. This guy, oh, he's got a nice car. I'm gonna get some gifts too. Hey.
okay,
I
well, I
honestly,
don't.
I personally never thought like that. I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. I don't have to buy gifts for anybody. I want to buy myself a gift. So
Certainly
please.
not me. Buy me everything you want. Buy me shit. But for me, I think it's more like, well, baby, it's cold outside. Let's huddle up. Let's
Um,
pretend we're making some kids.
let's practice. Let's do some
Some
practice.
shit like that. But no, but to your point, you said earlier, the message you sent me, you
Yes. So
said
the
that.
message I sent was during cuffing season is typically a time that you think about wanting there's that feeling of love and family. That's what the holidays bring. So that feeling of love and family, you're like, oh, I want a companion. I want someone to share that with. So I don't feel alone during this very lovey-dovey season, right? And so when we're around this time, we typically find that you you kind of just kind of let go of you kind of just go with the flow, and if you like a good that have that little gushy feeling, you're like, okay, you know what, let's just go with it. And when I think back at it, like when I first started, both of my relationships was one in October and one in November, and then
Mhm,
right after was December. I mean, I'm probably there probably was some red signs, like red flags, but I was
mhm,
ignoring them because I didn't want to break up before Christmas. I didn't want that to, you know, this is the loving season. I don't want to do that. And
mhm.
then come on, then two, then three. You know what I mean?
You made me think when you said that. Okay.
So
And
when did your one of your relationships start?
not during the holidays.
No, I'm not talking about December. I'm talking about like October, November timeframe.
Mm-mm. Nope. That's what
So
I'm saying.
was
It
September?
never, no, nope. All you made me think earlier. Like when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to think about my experiences in my past relationships throughout the years, my adulthood experiences, not just I don't remember anything in high school. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But they were all not during the holiday season, at least the most notable ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one was in January. There's
So
another,
it's it's
and
still warm. Like
that's
it's cold.
not
It's cold
holiday.
season. It's still cold season.
It's cold, but you're talking about holidays, like close to the holidays.
Okay.
That's the
What?
first one.
So when I'm
That's
talking,
the
hold on. When I'm talking about the holidays, I'm meaning from like no October, November. So
mm-hmm.
there's Thanksgiving, Christmas,
Right, right.
and then you skip to Valentine's Day. that whole cuffing season. It's like that
What are
4
you
period time.
talking about? She
I'm
said.
just like,
So then at that point, then for me, just one for me, literally. And that was January, end of January. And then there was another one, and that was end of April.
well,
I
that's
remember.
birthday season.
Yeah. Well, now that's a season to celebrate. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now, that's a holiday. Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
For me, it is. And then there is June, July, and that's all I can remember. I mean, we talked about how an X is an X for a reason, and there's no reason to go back.
I don't think I think there's relevance in everybody, no matter if they're an ex, because the relevance is in that isn't because of them. The relevance in the fact that they're an ex is because you grew from that, and therefore they're an ex.
Some people grow, some people don't. They stay stuck.
Well, that's not your problem.
Oh,
If they can't grow, then you move on, move along.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely.
But
So what's love? Is this cuffing season really love?
and that's the thing. I think that's where we talked about, like, what is love? What translate into how you know this is love, if this is real, right? And I think there was something that I've been reading a lot lately, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to go dive deeper into this. Like, love can be, you're feeling like a teenager again, you're raised, your hormones, and you're like, oh, I just can't wait to see this person. Can't wait to talk to this person.
Yeah.
Of course, I would never say that out loud, ever.
Why not? Why not? Because you're an adult now?
No, not like that. That was, that's inside. That, no, not like, no.
Don't front. You would.
In my mind.
Oh, come on.
To everybody else, like,
you would.
No.
I think that the older I get, the more vulnerable I become.
I think that the older I get, the more cautious I am about who I share and am vulnerable around.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the more unapologetic I am about how I am and how I feel, so I just like, hey, I love this person. I want to see this person. And I'll be that little girl, that annoying person just going on and on and on and on and on. I'm kidding. I probably wouldn't. But
I'm listening. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I just give the smile and blush.
Exactly. So that's me. That's me.
Yeah, but sometimes it does happen. Like you said, to the people, to the folks that you trust, and you have that relationship with. I read something today online. It's completely off topic, but it said for folks that are over 30 years old, or the minute that you hit 30, there are certain things that you need to do that you should start doing as an adult. And one of them, it was like, don't ever share everything about your life to everyone. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that.
Yeah.
Privacy is not something that we have anymore with social media.
Being the next trend, being the next thing. I think there's way too much being shared. However,
oversharing. There's a lot of oversharing.
Very much. But
I don't have Facebook, but people on Facebook talking crazy stuff about their life and the baby daddy, the baby mama. What happened?
I'll be really honest. I have muted or like hidden those profiles so long ago that I no longer see things like that. For myself, because you don't realize how influential that can be, especially if you're kind of in
Mm-hmm.
a situation where you're questioning things in your own relationship. You don't realize when you're reading these things that how it can slowly impact you in your
Mm-hmm.
decisions and your reactions to in your situation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I just, for me to make a sound decision, I needed to remove it from,
Yeah.
so I can make an unbiased decision. And I was grateful I did. Because I think the longer we push things off because we're just keeping ourselves so busy, the
Mm-hmm.
longer it will take to get to the next step for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, for growth. And I think it was, and I think this is a topic that I think we'll cover in a whole different section, where it's in order to grow or to move forward, you have to
Mm-hmm.
lose something.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So,
Absolutely.
but in a love situation, a love concept, what's we question ourselves, like, once, because we're both in that phase in our lives where we're past the divorce. We're now moving forward, just kind of riding the wave and kind of in between,
Right in
in
the
between
wave.
in what the next big chapter is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we question, I question for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I question, like, how do I know this is real love? How do I know, like, how am I going to recognize if this is
Mm-hmm.
real? Because I'm so cautious now
Mm-hmm.
from all the different things in the past. And I have to remind myself, like, past things does not mean present or future.
Mm-hmm.
Different people brings different qualities and different things to a relationship. Just like new
Mm.
people will do the same thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, you still have to acknowledge those red flags.
Right.
Not necessarily use your past with your present, but also identify that where there's a pattern, there's a pattern, and perhaps putting a cap on it, like right away, or
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, so how do I handle this time? How do I handle it then? Because I've experienced it. How do I handle it now, or do I even want to deal with it?
Right.
There's a lot of questions, but never to disregard the red flags, because they're there for a reason, but also acknowledging, like, well, maybe am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this is not happening. I don't know. I'm crazy of some sort because I went through all this stuff with this other person. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah. When it comes to me and the wave that I'm on, because I'm riding a wave, okay, and I'm going to continue to ride this wave until I get to hop on a different wave. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hang on.
What's on the hot part? Is
No.
that the part that's making you laugh? Which is the part that's making you laugh?
Oh my
Let's try to
gosh.
figure it out. All I'm saying is this. Like, you gotta stop laughing, man. You can't focus.
Okay, I'm trying to
When,
I'm
when,
trying to keep my mind in the gutter here. Out in the gutter.
oh, you see? This is a problem. This is a problem. You need a timeout. You need a timeout. Somebody's thinking about stuff she's not supposed to be thinking about. So, funny part is over here talking about cuffing season. I already know where your mind is at. Okay,
Moving on.
moving on.
So jumping
Yeah.
from another from to oh, what's talking
Uh-huh.
about?
Yeah. I said hopping on a wave.
You can't hop on a wave. You gotta jump on a wave or ride the wave.
Well, I hop on the wave so I can ride the wave. Get to ride another wave.
I can't with you. No. Okay.
So
Anyway.
it's like I said earlier, like as an adult now, like the older I get, the less apologetic I get. I just want to truly be myself, to be able to figure out myself and learn new things about myself, because I naturally when you're in a relationship that you want to work out, or you want to I don't know, fit in any way, shape, or form, right? Make things work or whatever. You tend to suppress a lot of who you really are, or how you want to be, to satisfy the other individual,
Mm. So,
unconsciously and sometimes consciously. And this time around, I'm like,
fuck
I
that.
was I was driving in this like straight road. I can't get out of the lane because I'm afraid I'm gonna get run over or something. Like, no, like, you know what? I can swerve a little bit. I can color outside the lines. I can jump off a plane if I want to, right? Or we can keep hopping on them waves, and riding them. Just
Yeah.
saying. But
I,
I'm being unapologetic about everything and anything I'm doing, and I want to be myself. And if that means I'm going to give everything I have, the person that I am, whether it works out or not, I'm not going to sit here and be like, is this going to work out? Well, if I don't try, if I'm suppressing who I am as a person and not giving that love or affection or a little bit of time, listening to your bullshit, then I'm never gonna know. Because it doesn't have to be serious all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be serious.
yeah. Yeah.
Just different aspects to everything. So I'm willing to get out of my element to be in my element.
My point of view in that, and I agree with that. That was me also in the past, where I adjusted so much to the person, to adapt to that person, to see if like they're gonna like me, and I think that I don't think I have taken the stance of, if I have no interest in the initial part of meeting someone, I'm just not going to put energy in it. And that might
You're not
sound
gonna
really,
you're gonna put the energy of meeting somebody?
no. I'm saying when I meet someone, if I'm not feeling a click or even like a remote interest,
Oh yeah,
not
of
I
course.
am
Yeah.
not going to try to force it or trying to adapt and trying to learn just so I can try to, maybe this will work. No, I'm just not going to put, just
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making that exception again. Where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, maybe this, because I think what happens is, people into the eye, I'm like, oh, I like this person, I can see this person in my future because of, they have this and this going on, but then you don't there's nothing you're compatible with. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have the same interests, or but you like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
You fall in love with the idea of what this can be, or what
Mm-hmm.
this person can be. Like, let's say you meet someone that, I'm just in general, let's say I meet
Mm-hmm.
someone that he's in the corporate world and he is aspiring to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You fall in love with that idea, like, oh, we're gonna be entrepreneurs together, and then something happens and he's just not interested, and he just wants to stick to staying in a corporate type world, or just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5 type thing. And then you get frustrated, and then you get upset, but
Mm-hmm.
then you fell in love with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
when really you really didn't love the person. If you didn't accept, it doesn't matter what they're doing,
Right.
you
Right.
accept them where they
Mm-hmm.
are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, where we often fall in love with the idea of what things can be, or the potential in someone.
Fairy tale shit. Excuse
Yes.
my French.
Yes.
Listen, it's sad what the media can do to individuals nowadays into selling an idea of what a relationship should be or what it should look like.
Or the
Having,
hashtag couple goals.
yeah, what? No, sorry.
No.
Ugh. I, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Let me not say what I want to say. So there has to be differences in a relationship, in relationships in general, whether it's friendships, and in this case, what we're talking about, romantic relationships. If
Mhm.
you're similar, if you have a lot of similarities, it's gonna be boring. You're not learning anything new.
It's like you're dating
There's no
yourself.
compliment. You're dating yourself. You're not complimenting one another. You're not learning not just from each other, but from the world. Because if you
Yeah.
have two different worldviews, that's great. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. That's amazing. You know, good relationships come from that. They thrive as
Mhm.
long as they learn to be patient with one another and compromise. Now, I know that word compromise is a hot one. Oh, compromise. Why do I need to compromise? Oh, are they going to compromise? Well, that sounds like too much work. It's really not. When you really love someone and you take it, let's not throw the word love. Let's not even say word love. When you care about somebody and you want something to work, and it's a natural thing, it just comes naturally. If you feel
Mhm.
like it's work, hey, just go hop on something else. Is there a proper way to fall in love? Is there?
There's a proper way to fall in love. I honestly, if is there a proper way to fall in love?
We got a TAQ. Is there a proper way to fall in love?
No,
I don't think there is.
there's no proper way to fall in love.
Nah,
I think
nah.
that's for fairy tales. We don't live in a fairy tale. We
Girl, there's
live
people that fall
in
in love and they're locked up. Okay,
um
I'm just saying. Hey, they
I mean
they meet.
love is love. Love is love. That's
Just, you know,
yeah.
I'm just saying. There's people that are in relationships with individuals who are in jail that they've never met. They never met him. They send mail. They talk on the phone. Some of them have is it conjugal? Is that how you say?
Conjugal
Conjugal
visit.
visits. Yeah, yeah. Some don't. And they still fall in love, and then they come out in the real world and they get married. They happily ever after. Some are just like, oh, yeah, that. Well, I'm out now, so bye. I'm kidding. I'm not, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people. So no, there's no proper way to fall in love. Is what I'm trying to say. We fall in love under different circumstances.
Right.
In any season of our lives, we can be at our best, we can be at our lowest, and we still find a way to give ourselves, allow ourselves to be loved and to provide love. So to me, that the answer is no. There's no proper way.
I think it's defined differently for everybody. I think so recently I shared that love is something you feel when you finally feel safe, where you can feel like the walls that you built up can finally come down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if there's a proper way to fall in love, it's making someone feel safe
Mm-hmm.
and then that person doing the same.
Oh,
Allowing,
certainly.
if that's the level of security, that level of
Mm-hmm.
trust is there, then you're opening the door to that, to love.
Absolutely.
Personally, I think love is something you do as an action, not as a word. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not just until you get married because you got to that point because you are falling in love and this is it.
Mm-hmm.
No, the love, the
Mm-hmm.
real part, that happens. The real work of love happens from the time that you decide this is it and this is what I'm going to do. So that whole
Mm-hmm.
word of compromise,
Mm-hmm.
that is work. It is hard.
Yeah.
Compromising is hard because you're putting some, not all, a little piece of your differences aside to ensure that the other person is also happy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a give and take. You can't just
Yeah.
expect like, okay, I need to do this because this is what she likes, or I need to
Mm-hmm.
do this is what he likes.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a give and take. You do
Yeah.
a little bit because she likes that, and then in return, you do the opposite. It's give and take. It's a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard
The
because
filling of the
sometimes,
love tank.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's hard in the sense that sometimes some people just really don't like to do certain things. There's times where in the past, I hated and dreaded going to big type events where you have to socialize with everybody that you have no idea who they are. People who are nothing like you, who are just like, it's hard, but you're compromising.
Mm-hmm.
For someone
Absolutely.
that it's to the thought of socializing and gives them anxiety, it's a
Mm-hmm.
hard choice. It's a compromise to change who you are, to get out of your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
to do the thing that will make your partner happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if your partner doesn't recognize that you're doing as hard as you're doing as much as you can, if it's still not enough, that's more on the partner side. The act of just taking that initiative to try to just try, I think for me that speaks volumes. If someone's trying something for me, even though it's difficult, it's out of their realm, that's love. And the action.
Acts of service is your love language, I was going to say.
It is.
Yeah. Well, wheeling it back to the coughing season. White people tend to want to be in relationships during this time. I think it has also a lot to do with our mental stability, especially in the colder months, where depending where you live, I don't things slow down. You tend to stay more at home. I go to certain places. There's more gloomy days than none. It's good to share that time with someone that's going to love, to show you affection, to serve all of your love languages, right? And vice versa. And to spend time together to fill that void that we unconsciously feel during those colder months.
Not just unconsciously, it's something that happens biologically. Those endorphins, you're getting a lack of vitamin D. There's a lot that happens in the wintertime. That's why they call it the blue season. That was probably why, when I think back on the times the relationship starts, because I struggled with that. I struggled with depression, and being now I'm in a sunshine state, I'm fine. I don't feel that want or need, and that's good for my mental health, because I know myself now, right? And the whole cuffing season, I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait, because I know this is when I'm most vulnerable, and I'm not going to. I need to not do that for myself.
You think that happens more for women or for men, or you think it's an equal?
Oh, it's equal. Men and women, we all go through mental health, different ways.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the whole coughing season. I mean, so some individuals may choose to be alone because they're prepping for other things. I mean, not everyone deals with mental health challenges.
Right.
The majority of us do, whether we want to accept it or not.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it, because as you said, it's a biological thing. But I guess I'm just wondering who would struggle with it the most. And automatically I would say women, because we have more body changes happening with hormonal changes. Naturally, we're more sensitive.
Right. I say it's both, because I'm trying to look at it in a different perspective, where for a male in general, just from years and years, it's usually on the male it's on their shoulders, where they have to provide. They have to be able to take care of their family around Christmas time, to make sure they have everything they we want or need, and if
Mhm.
there's that full pressure of it, and then if they can't because they're working as hard as they can, there's that extra pressure
Yeah.
that happens naturally, right?
Mhm.
But then if you're a single parent, it doesn't matter if you feel that pressure all the time.
Yeah.
And I think when I say that, as far as it can affect both people
Mhm.
versus women only, I think because there's a lack of men that are speaking out, there's probably a lot more men suffering with that than women. It's more known as women because women speak up. We speak up because we're very emotional beings. Men,
Right.
there's that work that still we have to encourage and support.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's why I think it's both, not just. That's just my take on that.
Yeah. Is
But
there a right way to love?
is there a right way to love? I'm gonna leave that open. What do you think? Whoever's
I
listening,
I
what is there? Is there a right way to love for you?
Wow. For me, listening to you asking the question, I will answer.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just go back to the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other part?
Does not boast.
Does not boast.
It does
What's
not
the other part?
judge. It does
Yeah,
not judge.
it does not judge. Wait, what's the other part? There's one more.
Oh my Lord.
That's
Love
it.
is, yeah.
Honestly, that is it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah. You're 100% correct.
That is the perfect way and the only way to love. It should be, regardless of the circumstances. You know, you don't know when someone really, truly loves you until shit hits the fan. Okay. That's
What
when you know, because you're there for that person, supporting, whether it's morally or in any other shape or form. You're there for that person, supporting that person 100%. No questions asked.
Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
That is the proper way to love.
To me, at least. Some
It
people are
is.
like, oh, buy me a new Lamborghini. I need a new purse. I need my nails done, my hair.
Yeah.
Or the guys, well, she don't love me. She don't want to give me a threesome.
Or the new Xbox or new PS4.
For the game will start there.
Yeah. And again, that I think that goes with whatever love language that is for that person. Or I mean, it could just be they just like new things.
They're riding their own wave.
Yes. me personally, I'm good.
Yeah.
But to conclude, I think everyone has their own way of loving, of what it means to them, and what that looks like. It's work. Yes. Anyone that says it's easy, anyone that says love is easy, they're lying. They're lying. Love is not easy.
Yeah.
It's hard. And if you're willing to work for it, it's worth it.
And I just want one note. So Jay Shetty, great speaker, podcaster about mental health and meditation guru. He, in one of his podcasts, he mentions that relationships don't die when you're together because there's no excitement, because you don't have the butterflies, because you don't feel that same way, that stress about looking cute. or what do I wear? What should I say? How do I act? For that person, like towards the beginning, like how you usually feel at the beginning of relationship, the butterflies in the stomach, that kind of stops with time. But it's not because you're falling out of love. It's because you are now happy. You're now comfortable. You're now in a safe zone. And it's
Yeah.
about learning how to navigate through that, acknowledge it, and say, we're growing together. That is growth.
Yes.
That is how he defines it. It's not, well, I don't feel this way, so I don't love this person anymore. And love is an addiction. So most people are going to look for that, for that, and most likely leave the person and go look for another one because they want to feel that
chasing the
drive,
high.
that chasing the high.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone out there that's been in a relationship for a long time and they know they love one another, but they don't have that spark, you have the spark. You just grew and you're growing together. That is nothing but growth. Continue to find yourself in your relationship.
Amen.
Amen to that. I said. Thank you so much for listening today. We hope you enjoy our episode. Look forward for your feedback. And may you all have a good day.
Bye.